Yo, man. What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy, Fred Lamar, also known as FCMD. Fellas, shit, what do we Yay! Hey, man, I'm back because we locked in like 20 of them. Bro, look, my lips is kind of actually trying to, like, little lotion on them. You greed the fuck up. But no, man. I want to get in serious mode because this is a serious topic, and believe it or not, guys, this happens so freaking often. But this is my reaction to somebody being the victim of an adoption scam. Right? They're just first off, let me just say that they're cruel and very, very disgusting people out there in the world. They don't give a shit about anybody but themselves and money and hurting others. So that's the first thing I want to say and get that out the way. I have kids of my own. I have 3 beautiful baby girls. I have 2 twin daughters that just turned 2, literally on the 11th, and then I have a baby that was born a little over 2 months ago. So pretty freaking excited, man. With that, so I just know the joy that comes with having a kid, having a child, whether it's whether it's biological or it's by choice. Either way, the love that you have when you have a child is one of a kind. So let me just shut up, man. And I really want to watch this and really see how things happen, how it unfolded, how they found out. And just what are their reactions right now, and my prayers are definitely sent out to them. But enough of me talking. I've talked for damn near 3 minutes already. It's as long as introduction. Let's get to it, man. 2 months?
Identical twin girls.
Wow, then she was trying to get identical twin girls? Girl, you would have had your head full, but wow, that is so sad. Oh my gosh, that is so sad. That is so sad. Twin girls, I'm a daddy's girl, so, girls is just, man, that's so tough. I'm sure those were her parents that she told another person. Oh my god, that reaction was so wholesome. Oh my gosh, hold up.
Everybody knows my name now. Something about
that was my mom. Oh my god, that is so funny. And what's so crazy, I told my mom over the phone because we was living like 5 hours away at the time, but I'm sure she was like extremely excited to hear it through the phone. But like when my girl told me she was pregnant, I was like, bro, cause she plays so much. I said, you lied, bro. Like, ain't no, like you lied. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, for real. I said, well, actually I cussed, but I'm not gonna say the word that I said, but I was get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, And she said, for real? I said, okay, let me call my mama then. Because if she let me call my mama and tell this is my mama, then she must be serious. So I called my mom, she let me tell my mom, and like, sure enough, that was the case. We was expecting 1 originally, and then 2 weeks later after some complications, there's a B. What you mean B? There's 2, twin A and twin B. I say, get out of here. So, reactions are, why would you guys do this? Who haven't done this to her? You guys are shit. To them, this is wow, man. That's so upsetting.
Months, we believed that we were going to be adopting identical twin girls. We were so excited. We got everything prepared. We got our nursery ready. We have 2 car seats. And we just come to find out that it was all a big scam. And this woman was not only scamming us, but she was scamming multiple other families. And it's been really hard for us to wrap our mind around. And the biggest thing that we found out that has been really hard for us to process is this woman was never even pregnant.
It just blows my mind. We met her in person multiple times. We did birthing classes with her. Our parents even flew out there and met her. These other families met her. She met with an agency, and the whole time she had on a fake bump and was faking pregnancy. She wasn't pregnant. And I'm in shock. I'm literally in shock. I can't.
And I am pissed. Because what type of horrible, shitty person does something like that?
even process what has happened over the last 2 weeks of finding out. It's been awful, and I'm excited to share this story because the last thing I ever want to happen is another family gets scammed like this. So if you can learn from our mistakes, you can learn from what we did wrong, then I hope it can help somebody else out there.
They thought their dreams were about to come true, adopting a baby boy due in January.
I was pretending to be pregnant.
The adoption scandal imposter.
It hurt so many families. Shereen Burnsley is accused of convincing 4 different families. The judge handed her a 20-year sentence.
I feel like there are some mistakes that we made and things that I would do differently looking back now. But a lot of the things were just out of our control and things that really we talked to an adoption consultant and she said she has never seen a scam like this in 30 years of doing this.
At the very beginning, Bella and I were very skeptical. We wanted to make sure that everything went very well with the whole adoption process.
We had heard of scams before, like there are people who warned us of scams, and so we were very skeptical of everything that came through. The day that we posted our adoption video, we started getting an influx of messages of people who had leads on different people who were placing a baby for adoption. So we happened to see one message pop up that day, and she said she was placing twins for adoption, and we were really excited because we've always dreamed of having twins. Red flag number 1, apparently twin adoptions, I didn't know this, but are very few and far between. So that could be a red flag if you are someone who is adopting. If someone says they're going to be placing twins, just be a little bit more skeptical about that because a lot of scammers use that to take advantage.
We started talking to this female. I don't even want to call her an expecting mom because of what she did, but we started talking to this female, and the messages that she would send us and the texts that were going back and forth just seemed so perfect. And looking back, we said it a couple times, this is too good to be true, and the reality was that it was just too good. The messages that she would send us were so profound, so in-depth, and so full of love. She would say things that made us so happy and so excited that I just couldn't imagine that she was all just lying to us.
We've been talking for about 2 weeks at this point. She lives in California, which is close to us, so we said, okay, we'll fly out there and we'll meet you for lunch. So we met her for lunch, and at that lunch, she looked us in the eye.
And then they were adopting 2 little black babies. Oh my gosh. You guys are so awesome. I don't even know you, but you're so awesome.
And said that she thinks we would be perfect parents for those girls, and that she wanted us to adopt them. And she basically, she had tears in her eyes telling us this, saying how she had been praying to find people like us to adopt these babies, and that we were a miracle for her.
Over the next couple of weeks, we continued just talking over text, and it came to a point where she kind of encouraged us to get the nursery ready completely. She said that it would make her feel more comfortable that at any time these twins could be born, because a lot of times twins come early. She said it would make her feel a lot more comfortable if we were completely ready on our end.
Which I think is so cruel to do to someone who's been struggling with infertility for 5 years. That is the most awful thing ever. And I wish we wouldn't have gotten that nursery ready, because now we have a nursery ready for twins sitting there with all the stuff. And
that is so tough, guys. Just imagine them prepping a space for their children, for their children. That one never existed, but 2, nothing's gonna fill that. This is an entire room that you've dedicated for no one to live in, when you expected a new life to be brought into this space. Every time you walk by it, you're gonna remember it. I don't see how they stay there. I don't know. I could do it. I couldn't.
I feel sick about it. I can't even go. I haven't gone in the nursery since we found out that this was all a scam. And I feel like it's just tainted that experience of getting our baby's nursery ready.
We have 2 cribs, double stroller, 2 of all the clothes, from
2 car seats,
literally 2 of everything.
She kept saying her doctor was telling her that nursery thinks the twins are going to be born early, so we need to be prepared. And so, like, we were just like, oh my gosh, we need to kick it into high gear and get everything completely ready. And I have to say, like, it was such a dream come true for that time, being able to, like, get the nursery ready. And, like, we've always dreamed of having that experience.
Another thing that she encouraged us to do was a gender reveal. She said that one of the hardest things about placing these two babies.
This is a very shitty person. Excuse my language, but she's she's a very horrible person. So not only lie to these people, but have them go along and like recommend that they do things like getting the nursery set up, having a gender reveal. What satisfaction do you as a scammer get from that? Like, what do you get from that? Like, why would you want to cause somebody that type of hurt? Okay, you're planning for the money. Okay, I get that, right? But the rest of this shit is beyond unnecessary. This is crazy.
For adoption was that she felt like she was going to miss out on a lot of the fun things that happen during pregnancy, like a baby shower and a gender reveal. So she said that if we were to throw a gender reveal, she would love to be included in any way and to kind of be a part of that. And so we thought that'd be really cool, and that was kind of our motive for doing a gender reveal like that.
I feel dumb, and I've like seen comments of people being like, you never jumped the gun and do a gender reveal, but like I trusted this girl so much that when someone like looks you in the eyes and is like, I hope you guys do a gender reveal, like it would make me so happy to see how.
Don't feel bad. Do not feel bad for being an honest and trusting person. Don't feel bad. You're not the one that should feel bad. The person that did all this is the shitty person. They're the one that should feel bad. If we're being honest, right? We all know this. And guys, if you guys are a fan of theirs or just people watching their videos, they have enough negative shit going on. Stop sending them more negativity by saying, oh, you should have known. Look, the shit's happened already. It's bad enough as it is that they were played, that they're not getting any child, let alone have to keep dealing with bullshit ass comments from you guys saying, hey, look, you should have known better. You never do it this early. You never. Shut the freak up. You know? Shut up.
The babies are gonna be like, you believe them, and I feel so stupid for believing that and throwing this gender reveal of the gender reveal of my dreams. We wanted to make it special because again, we've been waiting to be able to celebrate this baby or babies for about 5 years now, and so the whole family was so excited, and like being able to tell my parents and my family that was so special, and like I feel like all these moments have just been like tainted now. Yeah,
unfortunately, I mean, like Bella said, it's hard to not feel dumb for doing that, but at the same time, we just learned you can't trust people. You can't, and it just,
especially when it comes to adoption. I think we've learned that lesson.
It's hard, and we made those mistakes, but looking back at it, I mean, there's nothing we can change, and it's something in the past now. Another thing that she encouraged us to do that she said would make her feel better was if we did birthing classes with her. She asked us if we would be in the hospital room with her. And Bella and I thought that'd be so special. We were so excited for that moment. She said she didn't have a lot of support at home with her parents and her friends, and that we would be the only ones to be there to support her during birth. So we agreed, and we were excited to do that. So we ended up finding a birthing coach in the area in California that lived near her. And we set it up to do private birthing classes to where we would meet in person with her and with the birthing coach and take 9 weeks of birthing classes to be ready for when the twins were born. And we sat with the birthing coach, did different birthing positions, wrote down a whole hospital plan, had everything in order for this birth to go smoothly. We were getting ready, we were prepared.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing, is like every week we're like talking about like new steps in the birthing plan of like what she was wanting. And so I was just trying to be as supportive as possible, because it's just been my dream, like when we do match with an expecting mother, to be able to just support her in any way. Like I know how hard it has to be for that expecting mother who is going to be placing a baby or babies for adoption, and I want to make it the best experience for them because I have such a heart for them. And so I was just researching like crazy, anything that I could do to make the birth as amazing of an experience as it could be for her.
Our main goal while talking with her was to get her to meet with our agency. We knew once she would go in person and meet with our agency, then at that point it would become just a done deal. We had talked with our agency over the phone, we had talked with our adoption consultant, and she had actually talked to our agency. She had over an hour Zoom call with a social worker at our agency. They went over the whole process of adoption. They went over different birth plans, all her different options that she has to meet with other families or to parent the kids.
Little did we know, she was kind of pushing off those appointments to meet in person, like something would always come up. But she did officially agree to go to one of those appointments, and it was within the next couple days before we actually found out what happened.
But what's so mind-blowing is the excuses she had for not going into the agency were so real and so thought after that we believed them, and we shouldn't have. I'll be the first one to admit we shouldn't have believed them, but we did. She talked about how the pregnancy was non-consensual and that she had a lot of trauma and PTSD from that whole situation, which is real, and that is a whole other issue, and I can't even believe that she would make that up and take that story to manipulate someone like that. I think it's the most awful thing that someone could do.
Our hearts were just broken for her, like when we heard that and her telling us that, and so we were so, like, we understood 100%. We're like, you know what, like, you take your time because we know how hard this has to be for you to process all of this. Like, we're here for you and we're praying for you, and we hope that you are able to meet with the agency when you feel ready.
And she took advantage of that. She took her time. She kept putting off the going into the agency and meeting with person, because what the agency does is they specifically look for scams, and they
verify pregnancy.
They verify that this is actually all going to go through, and she knew that, and that's why she didn't want to go in. I was sitting at my desk one night and I got an email and it said, urgent message, I need to talk to you about this expecting mom that you and Bella are talking about. I have a lot of critical information about her. And at that point, my heart sank. I was still in a little bit of denial. I didn't want to believe it, but in the back of my head, I knew something was wrong. I knew that this is where it all falls apart.
And then I ended up getting an Instagram DM from the same person who sent the email, and she's like, you guys really need to talk to me. I have some really critical information. And I just knew, like, right then and there, I was like, yeah, this is very serious. Like, we just have to talk to this girl. And I never expected the information that we got. In the Instagram message, she attached a bunch of photos, and they were personal photos of mine and Dallin's from our gender reveal. And she basically said to us that this expecting mom is using your photos and sending them to other families and pretending like you guys are her friends and saying that we threw her a surprise gender reveal party. Well, luckily, this girl who DM'd me, she recognized us from the photos and was like, wait, that's Bella and Dallin. I have to talk to them because this woman and her husband were talking to this expecting mom at the same time as us. So we immediately got on the phone with her and started talking to her, and obviously we were just crushed to find out that she had been talking to this family for about 2 months.
We came to find out that this other family actually had a gender reveal as well, and this expecting mom was at the gender reveal with them, with all their family there. This expecting mom went and helped them set up a nursery and was just heavily involved in their lives as well. And as we started talking with her, we found out a lot of inconsistencies in the stories that the expecting mom was telling us, and the different stories that she was telling this other family. So as we were talking with this other family, they had a great idea to go on Facebook and to post on a group that's called Ending Adoption Scams and see if this expecting mom was talking to any other families or if she had been involved in any other scams. And as they posted a picture of her, said where she was from. Multiple other people started popping up in the comments and in the messages saying that they were also talking to her. How we found out that she wasn't pregnant was we compiled and made a group of all the families that she was talking to. We all started texting and talking over Facebook, and we started sharing our all of our stories that we were being told, which they were all different, they were all lies, and we all started sharing pictures as well. And one of the other families sent over a picture to us that right away confirmed she wasn't pregnant. What had happened is she had sent Bella the same picture a week earlier, but she had cropped it from here up. And she said that she was at a rodeo, and she said that she was wearing a crop top, her bump was out, and she was just owning it. She sent that same picture to another family, but she didn't crop it. She was telling this other family that she was only 5 or 6 weeks pregnant at that time, and that her stomach was flat. So when I compared the two photos, I realized right there that she had a flat stomach. And there was no way that what she was telling us as being 26 weeks pregnant with twins at that point, that she can make her stomach that flat. So the first thing I did was I wanted to get on a phone call with her and ask her what she thought of this photo. What was her excuse? What was her reasoning of having a flat stomach?
She didn't know that we knew yet that she was scamming us.
Yeah, she wasn't aware that we were already talking to these other families, and she didn't know that we knew that that she was scamming us.
Man, to get on the phone and not be so enraged, it requires a very high level of emotional intelligence. Because at the end of the day, you also want the truth. You know what I'm saying?
So when I got on the phone with her, the first thing she told me was that it was an old photo. But I noticed in the photo, actually Bella noticed, that she was wearing the necklace that Bella gave her a week ago. And there was no way that was an old photo
Because when we saw her in person, she had a big bump, and I gave her this, and she had told me that she was 24, 25 weeks pregnant.
No, it was 26.
26 weeks pregnant.
At that time. And so I told her over the phone, I said, hey, this isn't an old photo actually, because you're wearing the necklace that Bella gave you. And it got silent for a little bit, and then she said, oh, well, I'm sucking in. And I said, there's no way. You're not sucking in. It's impossible, as you can see in the photo right here, it's impossible to be sucking in 26-week-old twins. It's just impossible. And so I just knew it was over at that point, and if she was going to continue to lie and try and just make up stories, there was really no point. Other families started investigating this whole situation, and we started looking into more. We actually confirmed with other people near her, people that are close to her, people that she works with, that she is not pregnant. We even reached out to her mom on Facebook and got a message from her saying that she was not pregnant. It just blows my mind. I don't know why somebody would fake pregnancy. I don't know why someone would go through 8 hours of in-person birthing classes, tell us to fly out there to hang out with them. Our first reaction was that maybe she thought it would be really cool to hang out with YouTubers, or I don't know, Bella and I, but this was all happening way before we were even in the picture.
She's been doing this for a while.
Yeah, the family that she was scamming before us was going on months before we even had the first contact with her. So I don't know why. I really just do not understand why someone would fake pregnancy and go through all of that for what? I mean, I don't understand.
There was no money ever exchanged with any of the families. The only one family ever gave her a $200 gift card to buy maternity clothes.
Yeah.
So none of us gave her money. So I don't know what the.
That's so weird. So if you ain't doing this for money, you're doing it just to hurt people, and that makes it even worse. That makes it even worse.
Were and one of the things that she would always do that made me so happy was she would send us ultrasound pictures. I looked forward to them and I got so excited. We were always still skeptical because her name wasn't on the ultrasound, but she said she just cropped it out for privacy purposes, and we just understood that. We even would reverse image search the pictures and none of them ever came up. She sent us this ultrasound and then we quickly Google searched it and we found it on the internet for $9.99.
Fakeultrasounds.com, $9.99. You can buy it, you can input your name, you can input the doctor. It was fake. I even asked her, I said, hey, if you have like a verification letter of pregnancy or anything like that, send it over. Like, I want you to prove that you're pregnant, because everything that we've been finding out has shown that you're not pregnant. And she said, okay, I have a letter, I'll send it over. And 10 minutes later, she texted us a letter, and I got on the internet, and within 5 minutes, I found a PDF fill-in online form, and clearly it was fake as well.
I think I'm at a point, I just felt so gross about it, and it's like so sickening that someone could do this to multiple families. And I don't know. This is honestly the hardest video I think we're ever gonna make, especially for me. I just feel so anxious and like scared putting this out there because it is very vulnerable and very raw. It's very real and raw still. Like we're in the thick of it right now. Like I'm grieving. I'm really having a hard time. And so I do appreciate the sweet comments from people and everything, because this has been the hardest thing that I've ever gone through in my life. And I just feel like every day is different. Like I'm happy one day, I'm sad one day. Angry. I don't know how to feel right now. I feel so like betrayed. I feel sad. I just feel heartbroken.
One of the most terrible things I've ever seen somebody do, and to not only deceive us, but to deceive so many other families. My heart breaks for them. There's so many other families that found out the same day that we found out. We all came together and shared our stories, and we found out that it was all fake. She deceived the birthing coach. She deceived my parents. My parents flew out there. She deceived Bella's parents. She even wrote my parents a really nice letter, and it blows my mind that someone could write such a profound, loving letter, all for it to be fake.
So I just want to say, like, the main reason we wanted to put this out there is to show that everybody goes through hard things. Like, I still have faith at the end of this, knowing that our happy ending is going to come one day. And we've been through a lot. Like, we've been through a lot to be able to get our baby. But I know when we do, it's going to be all worth it. So this has just been the wildest thing. I did not expect this to happen when we chose the adoption route. It's been such a hard journey. And I think the hardest thing is, like, we felt so hopeful going into it. We felt like, you know, we've struggled with infertility and that was our hard trial, and surely adoption would be the happy ending to our story. And then it hasn't been, and it's just been really, really hard. And I feel, honestly, I just feel traumatized. Like, this has been very traumatic for us to go through and to navigate. And so I don't really know how to feel right now. But at the end of the day, I think obviously this is a big trial for us, but we still have hope that this is going to work out somehow, some way. And I still have faith knowing that maybe this was supposed to happen to us so we could educate other people and share our stories so other people are more cautious when it comes to adoption and staying protective of themselves and making sure that they're always protected and looking out for scams, because they are so real. And I would just say, like, obviously we weren't scammed of any money, which I'm very grateful for, but we were emotionally scammed, we were manipulated, and at the end of the day, I feel like I just feel heartbroken.
Man, just like she just, the rest of the video is just really just talking about, you know, their reaction, you know, to just having everything go on. And honestly, man, like, it really sucks that they have such shitty people in this world. It really, really does. It really, you have to be a very cruel person to sit up there and take not just one family, but multiple families from something like this. Man, I don't know. I would sue for emotional distress. Shit. This is such bull crap, guys. Wow. Only I can say, your name is Della. This was the shirt. I think I saw that on the thing. Look, don't give up. Do not stop being trusting of people. I would say be more careful. You know, be more careful. That's all that I can really say. Just be more careful. You know, and there. Obviously, I mean, don't feel a certain way about it, because it happened to so many other families. Everyone think that they're asking all the right questions, and they're getting everything the right way, man. It's just, I don't know. This is so sad, guys. Please, 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 please. If you're adopting, just please be wary of who you're going through and who you're choosing to adopt from. But also, man, just be wary of moving too fast. Because kids are a lot, Obviously, Della said that they've been trying to do this for a little over 5 years, so, they're definitely committed to this. But, adopting or having a child is just something you want just to happen, especially if you complain it or just wait it out and prepare for it. That's the best way to have a child, because having a child is a lot, man. Sleepless nights, waking up throughout the night, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh my god, it's a lot. But I could be more. They're one of the biggest blessings ever. Like, I never change having my kids. I love my girls to death. They're the greatest thing ever to happen to me, and I mean that. With that being said, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Continue to support. If you guys are interested in collaborating, be sure to contact me through the email in the description below. Other than that, man, I really don't have anything else to say for you guys. And until I come back to back, I ain't got nothing else to say, so that's just that.